Hi there, I'm Ben and welcome to part 1 of my full platinum walkthrough for the Callisto Protocol. If you haven't used one of my guides before, they are trophy or achievement walkthroughs that show every moment of gameplay needed for the platinum or the 100%. The only things I cut out are cutscenes or extended dialogue sequences. My guides are researched and practiced, so no aimless wandering around, just straight to the point. The platinum for Callisto Protocol, I'm not saying the Callisto Protocol every time, so I'm dropping the, can be earned in a single playthrough, and that's how we're going to be doing it in this guide. So as we start here, I'm going to just show the opening cutscene while I go over everything. It's better than a menu screen. The difficulty you'll want to choose is maximum security. There is a trophy for completing the game on the hardest difficulty. A really important thing to note is that there is no chapter select and no new game plus. So if you miss a collectible, you're going to have to start again or load up a save. For that reason, I recommend that you make a manual save at the beginning of every chapter, or when I tell you to. I will be telling you to do certain manual saves throughout the guide as well. That's how this guide is going to be broken down, by the way, by chapter. There will be one video for each of the 8 chapters. As you can see, this first one is extremely short, but some of the middle ones are going to be well over an hour long. Having said all of that, the only thing you do really need to worry about from the start here are the 43 implant bios, aka collectibles. There are miscellaneous trophies for killing enemies in certain ways and fully upgrading a weapon, but you will have plenty of opportunities to do these, and of course I will be pointing them out as we go. So setup wise, I think that's all I need to mention. I will of course be here for the duration, so I'll be constantly reminding you of the collectibles and upcoming trophy opportunities. And as always, the next collectible, trophy or anything of importance will be in the top corner at all times. So like I've already said, this is an extremely short chapter. Basically all we're going to do is walk around the cargo dock. Things are going to happen and then it's going to end. This one's called cargo, literally. That's all we do is walk around the cargo deck and yeah, we're done. But there is a collectible, so I'm going to mark them as I'm just going to call them collectibles. There are technically 2 types. There's bios, and then there are this type, which is just a recording. So I would say listen to them if you're able to. So whenever you pick one up, go into your inventory by pressing up on the D-pad and check that it's there. And if it's there and you are able to listen to it, there it is. You can see it's Jacob Lee. That one's Jacob Lee, Jacob's Job. Then listen to it as well if you are able to. This one couldn't. I don't remember not listening to that one. I don't know why I couldn't at that point. Just for reference as well, I am on the PS4 version of the game on a PS5. So if you're wondering which one I'm playing, or if you're having trouble on a different version, then that might be why. If you're playing on the PS5 version, for example, one thing I would say is don't use the sort of hang system with the PS5, you know, where you can just carry on where you left off. I never use that because it can mess up trophies. So if you are wondering, I would not use that, especially with this game, because there are problems with collectibles disappearing with certain checkpoints. It's a bit weird. I will explain it when it comes up. But as long as you pick up a collectible, and then if you die afterwards, you will have to repick that collectible up unless you have a checkpoint. You can see when you get a checkpoint, it's in the bottom right hand corner, that little circle. So I will remind you as well, if you die, I'll keep doing this throughout the guide, if you die, you will have to go pick up a collectible again, and then so you're going to have to constantly make sure that you have your collectibles in your inventory. Do a little check at the end of each chapter, maybe check you've got them all. They'll all be in the description of each video, so you can check them along with what you have at the end. And then if you've missed something, then you're going to have to rewind, use that manual save. I'm going to remind you to do at the beginning of every video. Yeah, we're nearly done here. So the outer way is a trophy you're going to get at that point. It's a story related one. It's going to happen, so don't worry about that. And yeah, we're just wandering around. It's just a little intro thing. We're on the ship. Obviously, we need to get down onto Callisto. So this is what's going to happen. Obviously, things aren't going to go so well for us. Yeah, it's just a little tutorial. Shimmy, jump over boxes, the usual stuff. Now, if you haven't played this game before, you've probably or may have heard about the dodge system. I absolutely hated it when I first started, and I don't blame people for feeling the same way, but I'm going to teach you how to do it in hopefully the best way when we get to that point, which will be in the next chapter. It feels really jarring at the start because the game is quite slow in its movement. So you have to get used to it, especially if you've been playing a quicker game to start before this. But yeah, once you get into the dodge, it's actually really good. So yeah, don't worry about that. So you're going to sprint up here using L1, and then you're going to run through this door. There is a little bit of a cutscene here, but it's going to go straight back into gameplay. That's why I'm leaving this in. So she's going to shoot out the window there. That's a good idea. And then everyone's going to get sucked out the back of the ship. Good stuff. So this is going to jump back into game. This is technically gameplay, but it's basically you just push up on the L's on the left stick, and you're moving towards the cockpit again. Once you get to your seat, the chapter is essentially going to end with regards to gameplay. There's going to be a cutscene. You're going to, spoiler alert, you're going to crash. That's what's going to happen. And then you're going to sort of move on, and then the next chapter will start at the end, and that's called Outbreak, and you'll see a little screen come up saying Outbreak, so you know you've moved into the next chapter. And I will pick it up at the beginning of the next chapter, the next sort of gameplay section. That's where I'm going to start, but I'm going to leave it here because there's nothing else to say about this chapter. Right, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.